Well, national headlines are screaming price drops, nothing's moving, nothing's selling. While Ottawa tells a bit of a different story. Honestly, what I've been noticing is that yes, we're in a bit of a buyer's market, leaning more towards a balanced market, but the big thing is that the prices actually climbed 700 to 709,000 in October. That's a 5% jump from this time last year. So if you bought a home last October, you would have paid 5.7% less. Now, if you want to understand the balance of power between buyers and a seller's market, typically the buyer's market is anything over 6 months. Between 4 and 6 is considered balanced, and anything below 3 months is considered a seller's market. Right now, the months of inventory actually just tightened from 4 months of inventory, and we just dropped down to 3.6. So that means we're leaning more towards a seller's market, but we're in the sweet spot where you can get good deals, you can get a lot of good things, and you can actually negotiate. If we start getting closer to 3 months of inventory or a half month, 2 months of inventory, you're going to see things drastically switch from what you've been seeing on the market and what you've been doing on the market compared to when it's lower and there's not much inventory and you're fighting tooth and nail against everybody to get any sort of offer going. That doesn't tell the whole story though. While we're in a balanced market, the average price doesn't tell everything. The real story is how different types of homes are actually outperforming each other. So first things first, the detached single family home. This is one of Ottawa's biggest sought after, most competitive areas. The demand is strong. The price definitely will reflect that, right? The average sale price of a detached home surged to 854,000. That's a solid 6.5% increase from last year. And while the benchmark price, which gives us a picture of the typical home, right? When I say typical home, this is homes that whenever I look at the overall market as a whole, I say the benchmark price, right? The average sale price. But that's factoring in condos, townhomes, semi-detached, single homes, shoeboxes, whatever you want to live in, it's all clumped in together. So yes, the average might be down, but honestly, if we're looking at single detached homes, those prices are up. A lot of people are looking back to getting into the city. The purchases outside of the city have been minimalized, but inside of Ottawa, the core is growing. The city itself is growing. We have tons of population, and that is being reflected in the large homes, large single family detached homes moving a lot faster and a lot faster than they have in the last few years. Now we're going to get into section 2. The townhouse market is where things get a bit more complicated. This segment is a little bit tricky, and it's a little bit tricky to understand because townhouses can range anywhere in the city. Now, if you're looking in the suburbs, expect a price between 500 to 650, maybe 700 if it's a really big high-end townhome. If you're looking for a townhome in the city, let's say we talk about Westboro, Hintonburg, anywhere in the downtown core, Golden Triangle, like they're going to be newer builds, and they're going to range anywhere from 1.1 at the very lowest to 1.8. And we're talking about townhomes, semi-detached, all in that similar range. Can we compare that to anything in the suburbs? No, we can't. That's not comparable at all because they're complete different styles of home. But the average sale price for a townhouse was around 556,000 in October, which is actually down 1.2% from a year ago. So if you're looking for townhomes in the suburbs, that is a perfect area to be shopping right now because you have so much choice, so many different layouts, so many different types of properties that you can find. This will be probably one of your best purchases. If you haven't purchased something in the last 2-3 years, this will probably make a ton of sense because you're going to see want right now, right? Like if you're looking at a townhome in Barhaven, Canada, Stittsville, Findlay Creek, Riverside South, Orleans, you got so much choice, and you can really just pick and choose the perfect one, negotiate a little bit, whatever is available, you take it and off you go. Now I'm going to go to the tough part of the segment is the condominiums. Honestly, it's been tough all year. The segment is some moderate growth, but average price for a condo in Ottawa is approximately 437,000. Now, Ottawa has condos that range from between 400,000 and they go up to 3 million. We do have quite high-end luxury penthouses available too, and even like some parts of the city, you can find 800,000, 900,000, 1.1, 1.2, like all different things are available. The number of condo sales has dropped though, and more than freehold homes, which honestly was to be expected because Toronto got really huge this year with the condo market, and we also got some sort of lingering effect in that. The big thing I always say about condos in Ottawa, I never found Ottawa to be a condo type of home, and I never thought it was. I never thought the style of condos we had here were going to be always that attractive, right? Like we don't have many condo buildings that have tons of amenities. We actually have a lot of rental purpose buildings that have beautiful amenities, and those are things that, attracted to, right? Whereas the average condo doesn't really have a big gym, doesn't have a big playroom, doesn't have much. It doesn't offer you much. Some have swimming pools and things like that, but all these things factor into the condo fees, and these are things you're going to have to pay either now up front, or you're going to have to pay them later when they start breaking. So that's one of the things why I think condos are not doing that well, and I think it's going to have a tough time of getting around that, but we'll see what happens. I think if you're looking for a condo property as your first time purchase, just to get into something, it's probably going to be in that affordable range. I mean, the condo price is $437, which is much lower than $556 for a townhome, and much lower than $854,000 like single homes. So single homes, you're going to need dual incomes most likely as an average buyer. A townhome, you probably still need dual income, like 5 is the average, but a really nice townhome, good size end unit, you're probably looking at 650-ish, right? 675, 640, somewhere in that range, you're going to be looking for an end unit. Whereas a condo, if the average price point is 430, you can probably get something in the fours, 384s. If you want something really, really, it depends on the size, depends on the location, all that stuff. This mean for you? This is the biggest thing. So what's the game plan for you? If you're a seller, the market is still leaning in your favor. So if you're a seller right now, what I'm saying is, you have competition over the next few months, right? Typically we see listings down quite a bit over the next few months. So November, December, nobody's moving at that time. Most people even the people that I'm working with currently, they're putting in offers for February and March. They're not actually looking to take possession during the holidays. No normal person really is. I mean, I really need it that bad, but like, there's no point, right? So sellers, if you're okay with something like closing after, you're gonna have very little competition, right? With 3.6 months of inventory right now, that's a really good sign. The other thing too is you make sure your home is prepped. If your home is prepped and you have very little competition, you're probably going to sell to whoever's been looking, right? Yes, it might take a little bit longer to sell because you don't know how active the current buyers are, but nothing else to look at. If you're the only thing on the market, congrats, you have no competition. So bonus point for you. If you're a buyer, you can finally breathe a little, right? So this is the time period. I know holidays are coming up, so it is going to get a little bit hectic, but this is where you can catch some sleeping, right? So if you haven't had a showing in 2 or 3 weeks and you're the first viewing in, they're going to be probably motivated for you to put an offer in, right? You're going to be getting a look at a couple of different homes, and then you're going to see, okay, it's like home A, home B, home C, home D, right? What about them do I like? Okay, maybe I like B and C the most. I'm going to probably focus on those two, and I'm going to start making offers. Well, good news is if you make an offer on one and it doesn't get accepted, it doesn't work out because you didn't want to pay for whatever it was, or the terms didn't work out, doesn't matter. You still have 3 more options that you actually thought were pretty good. So as a buyer, it's fantastic. The other good thing is that the rates are quite good. And one thing that you want to make sure for certain before you start making offers is that you have a rate locked in with your pre-approval specialist. So whether it's a mortgage broker or a mortgage specialist, you want to make sure you lock that in, because let's say the rates drop one more time by February or March, whenever you're closing. Good news is that you're going to get that rate that's been dropped. But the other good news is, like, if rates do come up or something shifts or there's some sort of change in 2026 where you weren't foreseeing that, you have a rate locked in for 90 days. Some of them even offer 120 days, which is fantastic because you're going to be able to take advantage of the old rate. The prices are still good. You got best of both worlds and you protected yourself until closing date, which is honestly 10 out of 10, right? You can't get better than that. So to conclude, to wrap it up, Ottawa's market isn't just one single story. We can't just say it's all one big fact. Hey, prices are down, go make crazy offers on anything, you're going to get it. No, you're not. It's really, you have to look at micro markets and macro markets. And I always talk about that. I know I beat it like a dead horse, but it is quite a big thing. I do foresee prices starting to rebound in the spring. So keep an eye out for that. We don't know what exactly is going to happen, but our market has always been stable, has been one of the most stable markets in the country and probably in the world, right? Like if you look at the 2008 financial crisis, Ottawa has always maintained good prices, even during those tough times. It did not falter compared to some of the homes in the US. And even if we factor into today's world, right? We're talking about Toronto and Vancouver as the big two where the prices go up, but they also crash down, right? Whereas Ottawa, we don't go as high as Toronto. We don't even go as high as some of the surrounding areas near Toronto, like GTA and stuff like that. We don't even spike like them, but we do have small leaps and bounds, pardon me. So Ottawa is much more stable. So whatever, even if you think you overpaid 2 years ago, you're actually not that far off from getting either equity or equal value to what you paid. Now, the other thing to that is, right, like, are you going to get a good deal? Sure. Is that good deal going to be 50, 60, 100K under asking? No, it's not. Be realistic, right? So make sure you know your expectations before you start putting it in. If you found this update helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to share more and more of my statistics that I would go through all the time. This is the stuff that I go through in the market and share with my customers and clients. I'd love to share with you guys some more. Any questions you have, please feel free to drop a like below, leave a message, send us a DM. If there is certain things that you guys want reviewed, like certain things that you guys are curious of, like let's say you guys want to talk about certain areas, what is a certain price point for a certain area, let me know. I can actually find that research for us and I can share it to everybody that's interested. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the prices are going to rebound? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Do we think that the prices are going to go down more and more? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.